heart of Germany, beyond the rolling hills and frost-dusted valleys, lies a forest older than memory itself. They call it the Black Forest, but the locals, they call it a place where paths vanish, voices whisper from nowhere, and the very ground beneath your feet refuses to be trusted. Tonight, you will follow a team of explorers, investigators, and seekers into a darkness that has claimed the minds of many, where every step could be your last if you don't listen carefully to the forest. This is their story. This is Footsteps into Silence. The road to the Black Forest wound like a ribbon of gray, cutting through hills dusted with frost. A low morning mist clung stubbornly to the earth, as if it had its own will, refusing to lift, refusing to let them pass without paying attention. Inside the van, Dr. 𝓕𝓸𝓻𝓮𝓼 sat hunched in the back seat, a notebook balanced precariously on his knees. His pen scratched at the pages with feverish determination, sketching a map that existed only in fragments in his mind. Fragments that no one believed, fragments that might not even belong to this world. In the front passenger seat, 𝓕𝓸𝓻𝓮𝓼 sipped bitter coffee from a dented travel mug, eyes sharp, scanning the road ahead. She had walked through dangerous terrain before, chased shadows, chased stories. But something about this forest made her fingertips itch with unease. Was it the cold, the mist, or the way the villagers had looked at them back in town? Their gazes were not welcoming. They were warnings. 𝓕𝓸𝓻𝓮𝓼's voice. "You're all too quiet." Lucas's hands gripped the wheel, knuckles white, his eyes scanning the tree line as if expecting danger to leap from the shadows. Military instincts never slept. "Maybe because we're the smart ones," Samir quipped from behind Elias, a drone case perched on his knees. His laptop screen scrolled with satellite data, numbers and signals that flickered in impossible patterns. Or maybe because some of us actually listened to the old man at the gas station, Samir continued. The one who said, "Turn back before the sun sets." "That wasn't advice," Nadia muttered, eyes tracing the blur of frost-covered trees. "That was a warning." The van hummed along the frost-bitten road, carrying secrets and fear alike. The village they arrived at seemed to have been forgotten by time. It didn't appear on most maps. The houses leaned against one another like conspirators, their roofs slick with frost, windows staring like dark eyes. The villagers stopped in their daily routines to watch the van pull in. A butcher pausing mid-cut, an old woman frozen mid-sweep, a boy with one boot untied standing like a sentinel. Elias felt it immediately. The prickling on the back of his neck when you realize you are now part of a story you cannot yet understand. 𝓕𝓸𝓻𝓮𝓼, born near this forest, but never fully part of its shadows, stepped out first. Her boots crunched against the frost as she approached an old man leaning on the well, cigarette smoke curling into the cold air. "We need the path to 𝓕𝓸𝓻𝓮𝓼, she said in careful German. The old man's eyes narrowed, his wrinkles deepened. "There is no path," he said. "There is," 𝓕𝓸𝓻 pressed. "We just need to." "No path," he repeated, dropping his cigarette into the well with a hiss. "Not for you. Not for anyone who wants to come back." A warning, not to be taken lightly. By mid-afternoon, the team stood at the tree line. The van was locked and left behind. Beyond this point, the forest swallowed sound. The air itself felt heavier, laden with unseen weight, pressing down on lungs, on thoughts, on fear. Lucas adjusted the strap of his rifle. "Once we go in, no splitting up. Stay in line of sight." Nadia crouched, brushing gloved fingers across moss that should not have grown in winter. "It's wrong," she murmured. "This shouldn't exist here." Samir powered up his drone. The signal blinked, vanished, returned. Like the forest itself was deciding whether to allow it. "Already losing connection," Samir said. "Unless something's jamming it," Amina finished, her voice tight, her senses alert. The forest changed around them as they advanced. The pines grew closer together, branches interlocking overhead, swallowing the sky. Light dimmed unnaturally. Though it was only mid-afternoon, Elias checked his watch. The second hand ticked normally. Good, for now. They passed a tree with deep gouges carved into its bark. 5 parallel marks, each about the width of a human hand. "Bear?" Samir asked. Lucas shook his head. "Bears don't mark trees like that. Not at that height," he said. The forest had its own rules, its own way of marking those who dared enter. The question was, who else had walked here? Half an hour in, a sound barely registered. A name spoken softly, deliberately. "Amina," she froze. The others moved ahead, unaware, then realized she lagged. "Something wrong?" Elias asked. "No, just thought I heard something," she said. But her skin crawled. The voice had not come from any human. The forest was speaking. The path widened into a small clearing. Dead leaves carpeted the ground. Lucas raised a hand. "Hold up!" In the center, a single boot print rested in pristine form, edges crisp, undisturbed by wind or snow. "Military issue," Lucas said, frowning. "Same as mine." "Someone else is here?" Nadia asked. "Not someone else," Lucas replied. "Someone ahead of us." The forest seemed to breathe around them, shadows lengthening, twisting. Every rustle hinted at movement unseen. They followed the trail a few more meters. The prints ended abruptly. One step, and nothing. Where the last print vanished, the dirt had been scratched clean, letters etched deep with some unseen hand. "Welcome back." The forest drew closer, leaning in as if waiting for their response. Their breaths caught, hearts pounded. A presence was here, watching, listening, and in that instant, all certainty left them. The forest was alive, and it remembered them. The black forest had welcomed them, yes, but what it wanted and who or what was ahead remained hidden. Step carefully, listen closely, and remember, the forest is patient. It waits for all who dare enter. In our next chapter, we will follow the man who never returned. The path is darker than you imagine, And the shadows, they have stories to tell.